Month after month after month, my utility bills go in only one direction, and that's up. So one day, when the phone rang and the person said, "Could I please speak to the person in charge of the electric bill?" I said, "That's me. Let's talk." I learned that New York State would pay for a company to come to my house to perform an energy audit, which would lead to recommendations for improvements that would bring my energy bills down.
Most homeowners qualify for a free energy audit where the state pays us $250 to come in and provide this service, which provides a lot of safety testing. It provides all of the energy analysis that we do. The ultimate goal of that process with the energy audit is to then see if a homeowner qualifies for available rebates and incentives. There are some rebates available, there are low interest loans available from New York State that can actually help you pay for improvements, because ultimately it's good for everybody if individually we use less energy.
So when we go through here and we test through here, we're going to test for carbon monoxide.
So you put a hole so that you can put a probe in to measure?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll stick it down into the throat, and then we'll put a probe in here as well and test the draft pressure. We're going to do the exact same thing on your water heater.
After checking the efficiency of my heating and cooling equipment, much of the energy audit involved searching for airflow through tiny nooks and crannies in my old home that caused me to waste precious heating and cooling dollars.
If you look out here, you can see some daylight. You know,
Ooh,
there's other spots that I noticed you can see a little daylight. You don't want to see any daylight in any area.
So what we're looking at is a bunch of very dirty insulation at the rim joist. And as we know, there's a lot of air moving through the rim joist in this house. So net, when you have fiberglass insulation sitting in front of moving air, what we have is a big cigarette filter. And it gets filthy, and it's not really doing its job, because nothing about that fiberglass is really capable of keeping air out. So we need something on that surface that creates an air barrier.
Once we're done testing this equipment, we'll take full basement pictures to give us an idea of what we can do insulation-wise around the basement as we work our way up.
So what they're trying to understand upstairs is, what are the surfaces of the building shell, right? The thermal envelope, and how well insulated are those surfaces? Because as heat rises, those surfaces at the top of the house are some of the most important for holding that energy inside the house. We need all of those surfaces to be much, much better at holding heat in. Thicker, you can think of it as putting on a thicker coat or a thicker, warmer hat. Essentially what this house is wearing in the winter is a baseball cap, and we need it to be one of those big Russian hats with the ear flaps.
So we're going to foam seal around the box, and then we're going to look to blow probably 16 inches of insulation in this room once everything is air sealed. And it's going to basically look like a winter wonderland in here once we're done.
The grand finale of the audit was the blower door test.
Basically what we're looking for in an energy audit is how the house is using and losing energy. And one of the keys to that, one of the most memorable tools, is the blower door, where we suck air out of the house, and it tells us where the air is coming in. When we walk around the downstairs and you walk in all the places where air is coming toward the front door, it's really coming up from the basement. Like, that's where you feel a breeze.
Air was also being sucked in at the top of the house.
That's what's coming. Wind blows in the summertime, that's what's coming in here.
Oh, yeah.
It's rushing in. Pulled in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got the hi-hat.
Put your hand up
feel
there.
the heat that's coming through there.
Oh yeah, wow. Looks like a space heater.
2 weeks later, Russell returned with the official test results and some recommendations.
It was no shock that the house was very leaky.
This jumps out at me. Given that your leakage is 447% greater than the limit, it is recommended that air sealing. That's pretty leaky.
Yeah, so that's more than, almost 5.5 times leakier than we'd like. And so you can see an itemized list of what we're improving in terms of the boiler, the hot water heater, the air sealing overall, the individual knee walls and knee wall floor areas, and the rim joist down in the basement. If we do all the things that we're proposing to do, this is the cost, but this is what we should be saving. You know, approximately $1,500 a year is $125 a month.
I think some of the work makes a lot of sense to do. It's a matter of whether I pay money month after month after year after year after year to Con Ed, or I invest a little bit in my home and spend less with Con Ed on a yearly basis. I would far rather do that.